Okay, so first things first, all of that footage you saw at the beginning was shot on my X100VI, and it was combined with the Cine Bloom 10% filter from Moment, and was also graded with my LUT pack, and I used about 20% strength on that too. And not forgetting that the music is sourced from Track Club, and the song is called Tokyo, ironically, which is quite good, and from a band called Saber Teeth. So I just want to get those things cleared up first, just for your information. Now, as you can clearly tell, I'm back from Japan. I had a wonderful time, but I have, again, suffered quite severely with jet lag, and I got a cold. So I've been out of the game for the weekend, and that's probably why you can tell I'm a little hoarse in this video. But I'm back up. I've been putting together some edits and just enjoying kind of playing with the footage that I got with the X100VI. Now, I just wanted to make this video because one of the best and biggest upgrades about this camera is the video features. It's probably the one reason why, if you have the X100V, you would go to the 6. Because as a photographer, you wouldn't see too much of a difference. But when it comes to video, there is almost day and night. So in this video, I just want to talk about the things that I really love about it and what I really don't, because there are some cons, and I'm quite eager actually to share what I dislike about the video in this camera. So let's get into all the pros. Now, the one massive thing that I love that they have upgraded in the 6 is the in-body image stabilization, the IBIS. It's fantastic. Now, as a run and gun shooter myself, this is a big coup, because I am not someone who uses gimbals. I love to just hit the streets and grab as much footage as I can on the go. But I want stabilized footage. And with this update that gives you up to 6 stops of image stabilization, this is a really, really, really big plus. So if you're traveling around, you're on the streets, or you just want to capture some nice cinematic moments, you can just hold this in your hands, and you can be sure you're not really going to need a tripod. You can definitely use some post-production to really stabilize your footage, but it's quite good, as you can clearly see here. So for me, that was kind of number one, actually. That was the biggest reason for getting this camera and using video, was the IBIS. So the other big thing for me is that it does shoot 422 10-bit 4K 60 frames per second. That is bloody incredible, to be honest, in such a small body. I was critical when it first came out of who really needs this, but if this is the only camera I have on me, which at the moment I have it on me daily, and I really find a lovely cinematic moment that I would love to capture, especially when traveling like I did in Japan, then it's really, really lovely that I've got that. And not only that, it shoots in F-Log and F-Log 2. So if I really want to go further and edit and deep dive into my grade, I've got that feature. But what is even more remarkable is that it can shoot 6.2K footage. That's incredible. I mean, that's kind of on terms with the XH2S. Now, there are obviously some pitfalls here, but it's pretty darn good for such a small-bodied camera. And it's, obviously been talked about, but these are banging features to have in such, I guess this is why this is one of the most hyped cameras up in the last few years. One of the other features that is not only good for photography but for video is that it has a built-in ND filter. So if you want to shoot outside in daylight, you can now shoot more cinematic scenes at 1/50 25 frames per second to get that lovely motion blur, which if you're going to make films or short kind of little projects, this is perfect for you to do. And the last thing that I really love about this is, as someone who's, quite can be quite timid or kind of introverted on the street, is that it's got a beautiful tilted screen. So I can point the camera down. Let me just get it. So I can point the screen down and watch what I'm filming through this kind of point of view, rather than at my eye or just kind of to my face. This is a great way of being discreet, and one that has helped me capture more footage in day-to-day scenes. The fear of being caught shooting someone living their life is quite kind of anxiety inducing. So to have this feature, again, it's one of my favorites actually, and it's not spoken about enough. Now, there are loads of other pros that go along with this camera, especially photography and whatnot, but we're talking about video, and they're mainly spec based. But let's get into the cons. I really want to talk to you about why I wouldn't use this, and well, how I wouldn't use this camera for video. So one of the first things I noticed when taking it out and predominantly shooting video, especially with the footage that you saw at the beginning, was it got really hot in the hands quite quickly. And I would, there's a recording limit, obviously, that it would cook, and would probably have to render it to kind of stop it from overheating. So for recording long periods of time, that ain't gonna happen. This is not a camera that is gonna be able to shoot over 30 minutes solidly. I don't even know how long. I haven't tested it, but I don't think it would go too far. And in that same regard, the battery life is not great either. So you're going to have to carry a couple of extra batteries around with you, which is what I do. I carry around the Lanyo battery pack, which is very good. Lets me hold also my 2 SD cards, and it's very small, and that can fit really well in my sling bag, and it lets me know as well how much is charged. So at the moment, I've got 2 batteries charged on 72%. So yeah, I'll link that in the description below. It's a really good battery pack, and it comes with the batteries too, obviously. Next one is that it's a fixed lens. Now, if you're gonna buy this camera just for shooting video, you're gonna limit yourself. Now that, obviously, there could be a lot of creativity to be had with just a fixed lens, which, to be honest, I would encourage on one level. But if you want to explore the full capabilities of your filmmaking, you are going to be limited. So that fixed lens is the only thing you've got, and that means you're limited just to that lens, not just to the focal length. I mean, you could switch focal lengths, but what I'm trying to say is that is the only lens that you can use with this camera. There's nothing else. I think you can obviously buy some adapters to get some telephotos, but this is the only lens. So I'm making that very clear. This is a fixed lens on this camera. There's a crop. So like I was saying with the 6.2K and the 4K video, there is a 1.23 times crop, which you're not getting the full 23mm. Well, you're not getting that anyway because it's equivalent to 35, but you're getting more like a 41mm kind of crop in your footage. So look, you're losing a little bit of landscape there. You're losing a bit of kind of width. So that is definitely something to consider when using, the video in this camera. There is a noticeable rolling shutter with this. So if you're doing any high action, fast paced shooting, you're going to notice a bit of jelly in your footage. It does wobble quite a bit, so that is definitely something to note. So the last kind of real con is that, if you remember me saying one of my favorite features is it had a tilted screen, is, well, that means it doesn't have an articulating screen, which means you can't turn it around like I'm doing now, and you can't see yourself if you wanted to vlog. But that's kind of the next thing we're going to get into, which is, what is this camera best suited for? So this camera is for B-roll, cinematic clips, short little projects, Instagram reels, street and travel scenes, beautiful little moments you want to capture on the go. So remember, this camera is small, so it's going to be on you all the time. So when you're not only taking photos, you can take those beautiful scenes with this camera. So that is what I think this is for. And with the ability to shoot 4K 50 or 60. So you can really slow down that footage and give it real cinematic kind of artistry. But what it's not ideal for is vlogging, long form videos, you know, podcast multicams, fast-paced action GoPros, or like pro audio grade stuff. Like none of that is suitable with this camera. I wouldn't even go there. If you are getting into travel photography and you want this to be your only camera, like the only one, not even your phone, I think you're going to come across some problems. Because yeah, I mean, you can definitely film yourself with the X100VI, but you're gonna find, you know, even the fact that there's no headphone jack in the camera is a real minus. Be aware when buying this. This is more of a B-roll, cityscape, capturing scenes type of video experience rather than vlogging on the go. You know, it's not going to be easy, that's for certain. I think that's what I'm trying to say, is it's going to be much harder. You can definitely give it a whirl. You could do it for sure, but there are better cameras that do the job. That's my point. Anyway, if you found any of this helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you're interested to know what accessories I use with this camera, you probably should watch this video here.